Hey everybody, welcome back for video number 3. Who's ready to move on to where the real fun begins? This is seriously so simple and so fun. This video will be a little bit longer, but hang in there with me because there's some more really good stuff at the end. In this video, we're going to cover 2 types of connecting, ATM and impact stories. And I'm going to combine them to some extent in actual practice, but we're going to cover them a little bit separately. First, we're going to start with some stats from someone who's been using this system for a few months already. Jen Cooper's been using ATM since August of 2017. And as of March 2018, they're averaging a 70-point increase each month. They're averaging 35 new ambassadors per month and plugging them into this simple system, which equals duplication. And this number is up from about 10 to 20 per month on average. They've close to 900 new people since August, and they've had a ton of silver promotions, 8 gold promotions, 2 senior gold promotions, and 1 senior ruby promotion. There's my dog. This is real life, people. How many of you would love to see these numbers or even 1 silver this month? I know I would. All right, let's talk about how Facebook is such a critical thing for us in what we do. There are over 2.2 billion Facebook users each month. Can you believe it? Every month. Do not ever tell yourself that nobody is interested in Plexus. Don't even say it in your head. I promise there's no shortage of people that need Plexus, and it's not just who you know, it's who they know, right? That's what matters in this line of work. There's a whole world of people out there that you don't even know yet. So have you ever friended somebody that you have a mutual friend with? You want to be doing something like that every day to grow your network. We want to always be building relationships, and we want more people to love on, right? This system is used by industry experts. It's a simple funnel system designed to expose, involve, upgrade, and duplicate. Woohoo! We want to expose more people to Plexus. We want to involve them in our community of hope, positivity, encouragement, resources, and people who are amazing. We want to upgrade them to either customer or ambassador, and then we want to help them duplicate that, help them learn the system. Do you use Instagram or maybe another social media platform? Well, what about folks on Instagram? How do we use this system for them? Because it's basically based on Facebook. Super easy. Just shoot them a message on Instagram and say something like, hey, are you on Facebook too? I have a really fun group over there that has tons of info, exciting stories, lots more, and I think you'd find it worthwhile to check it out. Or there's an article or post, etc. that I'd like to share with you. Will you send me a Facebook friend request? Make sure you can receive friend requests from people who aren't mutual friends and include a link to your profile. Okay, back on track. How do we use Facebook to do what we call ATM? So ATM stands for add, tag, and message. So we're going to walk through that system really quick and kind of explain how this all works. So we have access to a group full of content, third-party articles and information, testimonies, etc. It's called Gut Health and Happiness. This is a great group. There's a ton of people posting, and they're very knowledgeable health gurus. And this helps to simplify our life because we don't have to answer the same questions over and over and over. Eventually, most people ask the same questions, and we have their answer. We have their solution. They just don't know it yet. The key here is to focus on this Facebook group. They're awesome for recruiting new people, creating momentum, and expanding your sales. And here's why. A well-run Facebook group creates social proof, which helps with sales. So that third-party validation, right? Excitement is contagious, and we use that to create momentum. There's a ton of excitement in Gut Health and Happiness because there's always something going on. Prospects will join your team much faster because they'll get to experience what the atmosphere is like. How many people do we know that joined this company and realized that once they got into the groups that this was their people? These were the people that they were supposed to be working with. Because it's fun. It's different than a lot of companies out there. Your existing team will be more successful when we have that support for 24/7. So we're giving our team support. We're already training our new people to add, tag, and message just like we've done to them. They're going to be doing that too. It's super easy to duplicate. So basically how this all works is you add a potential to the resource page, Gut Health and Happiness. You tag them in something that is relevant to them. Use their first name only. Don't pitch anything, hey, you need to check this out because blah, 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 and don't over tag them, like 2 or 3 things and then that's it. Most important piece, send them a private voice message, letting them know that you added them to the group and sincerely why you did it. We want the content to be dripping on them. You want it working for you when you aren't working. You want it talking to them when you aren't talking, right? You're sleeping sometimes, you're homeschooling, you're talking to your kids, you're out doing whatever, you know. You want your content to still be working for you. So this is hybrid marketing because it doesn't take the place of face-to-face conversation, just talking to and connecting with people in person. Our goal here is to build relationships. It's important to reach out in addition to ATM because we're humans first and marketers second. One of the biggest mistakes we can make is marketing interactions all about, one of the biggest mistakes that we can make is making interactions all about the product or company or marketing, right? We don't want to always be marketing. If you do that, it's a surefire way to get blocked or ignored, and we don't want that. Our end of the day goal is impact, not necessarily income. But most times, those two go together. What a blessing, right? We want to be intentional with how we build our businesses and our teams. We want to be passionate about building a legacy, making changes in the world, in our families, and in the lives of others, not just making an income. Your heart is what will drive people to you. You need to really spend some time thinking about your why. What drives you? What kind of impact do you want to have on the world? So thinking about the why behind the why, the thing that God planted in you that you want to bring out and share with the world, that thing that's going to make that legacy for you, figure out what that thing is. And we have some tools to help you do that. If you want some more information on that, just let your sponsor know. We can help you do that. But basically, we want to get that down to about 90 seconds or less. 60 seconds is awesome because that is what will fit in a 1-minute voice message on Facebook. Then we're going to practice it. Say it to yourself, to your spouse, to your kids. You can even send yourself Facebook messages practicing it so that you have that whole thing down. Once you have it down, it'll be super easy to share with anyone, anywhere. This is your impact story. So here's some suggestions on how to create and use your impact story. So we can kind of use this in the ATM part a little bit when we message somebody to tell them why we added them to the group. You can use pieces of this impact story in that conversation as well. So to make your impact story, you're going to focus on a few things. Part 1, what was your life like before? For instance, I wanted to go on the mission field, but my health just wouldn't allow it. I was turned down for multiple assignments. It was very discouraging. Part 2, give a specific example of your turning point, a specific event or experience, etc. I remember when my first friend Jen posted about her health had improved so dramatically the same day that I had received the news that I hadn't been approved for the field once again. I had been so devastated and I felt so lost. I thought this was God's plan for me. But when I saw Jen's post, I felt like maybe there was hope, and I knew I needed to call her and see what she was doing. Part 3, how did your business and products provide a solution or solve the problem? Don't mention the name of the product or company. Be generic. Say something like, I jumped right in and soon I was feeling so good. My health was improving. I was able to do things I hadn't done in years. Give specific examples. Not only that, but I was able to bring in enough money from sharing hope with my friends and family to purchase my plane tickets to my first mission assignment. And then part 4, what is the specific contribution or impact that you're looking to make? Tie this back to your why. I'm so excited that not only do I feel better and have been approved for assignment, but I'm thrilled that I'm able to create great income to help support myself on the field. By the way, I'm able to do this because of Plexus. End it there. Don't give any more details. There are several ways to share this once you have it down. Do a live video about it. You can go into a little more depth here since it doesn't have to be less than a minute. Plus, the interaction is really fun. Or share your impact story via Messenger. Like I mentioned before, during the ATM process, you can say something like, I added you to this group because I saw this article in there and it just reminded me of you. It reminded me of how you struggle with such and such issue during school. Or I know that you have a heart for missions, and I see my friend in here posting about how she's a missionary and she's able to do such and such a thing because of that. And I know that that is important to me because of my story and how this has been my experience. So you can kind of tie those back in. So here are a couple different ways to use impact story that don't involve ATM. So you can do 2 different kinds of approaches, the direct approach or the indirect approach. The direct approach is, I'd love to share with you my story, why I started my business in the first place. I've never really had a chance to do that. It may or may not be for you, but would you be open to letting me do that? If it sounds interesting to you, great. If not, then that's fine too. The indirect approach. I know you aren't interested in my business, but I wanted to ask you a huge favor. Would you give me the opportunity to tell you why I started my business? The reason is I'm looking to expand my business and want to see if anyone you know comes to mind when you hear my story. I'm looking for a certain type of person, and maybe if I share my story with you, someone might come to mind. Would you be open to that? It would really help. Then all you do is follow up. You just shared your 60 to 90 second why, and then you ask them, did any of that resonate with you? If they're interested in learning more, that's great. This is where you can practice the ATM part of the system, the add, tag, and message. If you have invited them to hear your why, and because you have a why that's about impact and your mission in life, whatever third-party tool you use, God, Health, and Happiness, a video from the Plexus corporate website, any of those things will be interpreted in a completely different light than if you had just sent a link to your website without having any of this prep work and conversation. So if you do the impact story part and then move it into the ATM part, we're going to talk a little bit more about ATM here in a second, but I just wanted to share the impact story part too, because I think that there's some value in that. You can combine them or not combine them. That's totally up to you. I'm just giving you some suggestions on how to open up conversation with people. So once you have ATM somebody, so you've added them to the Gut Health and Happiness group, you've tagged them in a post or two, and then you've messaged them with a voice message telling them why you did that and sincerely what you hope for them in that. Maybe they have questions. Now is the perfect time for a three-way chat with your upline. You just say something like, hey, Mary, this is my mentor or friend, Laura. She was also a working mom of two when she started Plexus, and I thought it would be good for you to hear her story as well as have her answer any questions that you may still have. So the upline's job in this three-way chat is to listen to the prospect, answer their questions, and keep coming back to find out more. What do they want? What are they looking for? What's going to drive them? Then you want to speak to their heart and help them to feel connected to the whole team. Say something like, hey, Mary, I wanted to let you know that although whoever is the person that added you to the chat, you're level 1, although this person is a great resource, I'm here for you too. We work as a team. So, all right, I've given you the nitty-gritty. How about some scenarios to use in real life? So I'm going to give you some wording here. And I will put this wording in the comments on our team page under this video, okay? So that's where this will be. If you're finding this on YouTube and you don't have the comments, you can send me a message. Okay, so the scenario number 1. If you practice step 1, attraction marketing, you will have people coming to you and asking, so what is this Plexus thing anyway? Or what is this Joyome thing? Or what is this pink drink? You know, whatever the question is. So you go to your resource group, Gut Health and Happiness, you search, how is Plexus different? You add them to the group and tag them in this post. And then you message them with a voicemail and you say something like, hey, Matt, I'm so excited that you reached out. Hey, I hope it's cool. I've added you to this group called Gut Health and Happiness, and I tagged you in something that I think will give you a general snapshot of what Plexus is. I hope that's okay. Feel free to tune in or not. You can take yourself out if you don't want, but I think that you'll really appreciate the content in there. By the way, what brings you to message me? What did you see or hear that hit home that you've got going on and wanted to reach out? Talk to me. So this message shows that you sincerely want to answer their question, share information, and that you care about them. You give them an out as well as an open door, and it creates more conversation. Talk to me or tell me more. Do not say, let me know if you have any more questions. Stay off the Plexi soapbox and never end with a closed question, okay? Scenario number 2. This one's a little bit scarier, but I promise that you get better the more you do it. By the way, side note, everybody better have a list and have it where you can see it often. You need to see the names of your people. Everyone you meet goes on that list because you can help them. So, scenario number 2. We're going to call this lady Migraine Lady, okay? It's a friend from high school that you haven't talked to in a while. You find an article in your Gut Health and Happiness group linking gut health to migraines. You add her to the group, tag her in the post, and you reach out with a voice message. Hey, Susie, I wanted to reach out to you. I'm sure by now you know, or maybe not, haha, that I'm involved with Plexus Worldwide, a company that has changed my life, and I wanted you to know that I recently added you to an awesome resource page filled with great information. But there was this one thing that in particular that made me think of you. Because I remember you having to miss school when we were growing up, multiple times, because of your migraines. Well, what I've learned is that I have helped so many people with, let me start that part over. What I have learned is that what I have has helped so many people with migraines because a lot of it is gut related. Feel free to tune in or not. You can take yourself out of the group, but it just keeps making me think of you when I see it. So I wanted to share it with you. I hope everything is awesome with you. 9 times out of 10, this will get a response. Do not copy paste. Everyone else is doing that. If we want to show people that Plexus is different, why we are different, we need to be different. Always offer them an out and be sincere. Hey, I did this thing, but you can take yourself out. But I sincerely thought of you because of X, Y, and Z. I don't know if it could help, but what if it can? Scenario number 3. When someone reaches out to you to ask about your product or business, say, great question. I found a solution to a problem that they had or that they might identify with, a lack of money, health, etc. Wow, you have to see this. I'm really busy right now, or I'm busy right now, but I'd love to add you to our secret resource page and tag you in a video post, etc. It's short and sweet and tells you exactly what we do, what Plexus is, etc. You've got to check it out. So then after that, you go tag them in the pinned post and you say, this is the video I was telling you about. Additionally, you can send them a message that says something like, I tagged you in the video and I think you're going to love it. Let's talk again tomorrow. On the next day, you simply follow up. Hey, I wanted to check in and see if you had a chance to watch the video, read the post, etc. Yet, and ask them if they have any questions. If they do, you can write something like, great question, let me introduce you to my partner or my mentor or my friend, however you want to say it. They can help answer your questions. That way you're getting yourself out of the way, letting someone more experienced answer their questions, and you're outsourcing your work and getting higher results in return. Amazing, right? So fun. All right. Number 4, scenario number 4. I have a couple more of these and then that'll be the end of this. But I want to give you some good, practical, put your feet on the ground kind of tips. So for the folks who disappear, number 4, tip number 4, say something like, hey, I was getting some plexus work done and I wanted to check in and see how you were doing. What other concerns I may address for you? So you're inviting them to tell you what's wrong or give them the opportunity to address their concerns. This is a great time to put them in a 3-way chat with your upline as well, if they do have some concerns. Or maybe they just forgot. You know, you never know. But this is how you can find out. Okay, number 5. I know that you said that this wasn't a good time for you with plexus, and that's okay. I was wondering if you could do me a huge favor. Would you give me an opportunity to tell you why I started my business? So this is, again, bringing that impact story around. Okay, we're going to use that same wording from the impact story. So you're saying to them, can I tell you why? And then you say, the reason is I'm looking to expand my business and want to see if anyone you know comes to mind when you hear my story. I'm looking for a certain type of person, and maybe if I share my story with you, someone might come to mind. Would you be open to that? It would really help. Then you share your impact story and move on from there. So this strategy does take some time to implement and duplicate, but once you get the hang of it, there won't be a force on earth strong enough to stop you. You will simply rock it. The best part? What's in it for you? Gentle exposure, dripping content, excitement, positivity, encouragement, knowledge, and empowerment over your potential. It works for you when you're not working or able to work. It parallels and memes what we already do on Facebook naturally, sharing funny videos, tagging somebody in a meme, etc. If they're not ready now, it's not this isn't handbags or makeup. It's people's lives. It takes time and exposure. Know that people probably won't buy or sign up right away. It's important to be constantly there for them so that they know that you are available when they are ready. Now, start now, trickling people in so that your funnel and pipeline is always full. My favorite part, you're teaching the people that you're putting into this duplicatable system, you're teaching them that system before they even signed up. They can ATM people before they ever click join and go silver right away or even fast start gold. So awesome. So what's in it for them? The best part. Education, convenience, semi-privacy, ability to keyword search anything with no pricing or, sorry. This is a long video. My voice is getting tired. The ability to keyword search anything with no pricing to distract or discourage them. The ability to learn about root causes and genuinely feel why they need plexus. 80% of our decisions to buy are based on emotion. We have their solution, and we get to teach them with this method. They have the possibility of earning a tiny, medium-sized, or large income because they have already learned the system. There should be no pause because they already know what to do to become sober or pay for their product. Isn't that the best? It really is a win-win. So fun and easy. What's next? In video number 4, we're going to talk about how to help your people decide if they want to be a customer or an ambassador. We know there are other options. There are no other options, right? We also talk about how to help your new person get started strong by helping them go through the same system that you just did. Talk about the power of duplication. Awesome. We'll see you in video number 4.